Other than MLP, one of my favorite fictional franchises growing up was Pokémon. I got super into the anime, played all the games, you get the idea. So today I have a fun thought exercise. If the main 6 were Pokémon trainers, what would their teams of 6 Pokémon be? Admittedly, I have no idea what the overlap is between MLP fans and Pokémon fans, so I don't expect this video to get too many views. So if you're still watching it, thanks, and here we go. The first pony on my list is Twilight Sparkle, and I've come up with 6 Pokémon to fit her team. Her ace Pokémon would be Delphox to represent the element of magic. Delphox is one of the only Pokémon with the Magician ability, so it's the best fit. And for each pony here, their ace Pokémon will be an embodiment of their element of harmony. Her next team member is Rowlet, a stand-in for her pet, Owlicious. I'll also give each pony a team member to represent their pet, and then the final 4 Pokémon will represent different characteristics and traits of the character. So next up will be Calyrex, which represents Twilight's status as equestrian royalty. Phalanx is here to represent the teamwork and leadership that Twilight is great at. It also has 6 heads, so it's a nod to the main 6. Lopunny might seem like a bizarre pick at first, but it represents Twilight's friendship, as it can only evolve from Buneary through friendship. Out of every Pokémon that evolves through friendship, Buneary is the hardest to evolve since it starts with the lowest friendship, making it a Pokémon that only a friendship master such as Twilight would be able to raise. And for her final member, she has an Axew, as a reference to Spike. In a time skip, maybe it could evolve all the way into Haxorus. That being said, Twilight's magical team is Delphox, Rowlet, Calyrex, Phalanx, Lopunny, and Axew. Rarity is next, and her team starts off with Delibird. This Pokemon's signature move is Present, and is the embodiment of the element of generosity. Next is Skitty, being a nod to her pet Opal. More than that though, Skitty's tail resembles a pin holder, being a necessity for a dressmaker like Rarity. Her third team member is Sewaddle, a Pokemon known for sewing, like herself. She could use Gardevoir, maybe even Mega Gardevoir, as it's a Pokemon that appears to have a long dress, a clear reference to the ones that Rarity makes. Her fifth member is Carbink, referencing the jewels she uses with her fashion. And her final member is Zarina, representing her femininity and beauty. Because of that, Rarity's fashionable team of 6 will be Delibird, Skitty, Sewaddle, Gardevoir, Carbink, and Zarina. The third character to talk about is Fluttershy, and her element of kindness will be represented by Chansey. This is a very kind-hearted Pokemon, known to share its eggs with injured people and Pokemon to heal them. Her second team member is Scorbunny, representing her pet Angel Bunny. In line with her pets, I have Chatot as her third member to represent her choir of singing birds. Her fourth member is Esper, because it has a powerful stare just like her.
The stare!
Fifth is Zubat, a nod to her Flutterbat transformation that is extremely popular with fans. And finally, she'll be the first of the main 6 to own a legendary, with Koraidon being a stand-in for her friendship with Discord. They're both ancient dragon-like beings, it's close enough. This makes her team Chansey, Scorbunny, Chatot, Esper, Zubat, and Koraidon. The next Pegasus to make a team for is Rainbow Dash, with loyalty being represented by Growlithe. This is a very obedient and loyal Pokemon known to defend its trainer against any threat, and definitely represents Rainbow's personality. To represent her pet Tank, I added Turtwig to her team, being the turtle Pokemon that most closely resembles it. For her devious side, I added Morgrem, fitting the vibes and also having the Prankster ability. Ninjask is the fastest non-legendary Pokemon, so it matches her speed. I added Comfey to represent her rainbow color scheme, and finally Altaria as a nod to her ability to control the clouds and weather. Rainbow Dash's team will be Growlithe, Turtwig, Morgrem, Ninjask, Comfey, and Altaria. The first Earth pony to discuss is Applejack, and for a bit I struggled to find a Pokemon that represented the element of honesty. I finally decided on Pansage, as it's based on the wise Speak No Evil monkey. That's basically the closest we're going to get to a Pokemon that represents honesty, and it's a grass type too, so it's a good fit. To stand in for her pet Winona, I added an Herdier, being the most basic dog-like Pokemon. To fit her family's motif, I had to add an Applin because, duh. Fourth is Machamp, being the Pokemon to embody the move Strength, which fits her as she's very physically strong. Just to fit in with her country vibes, I added in Tauros. And finally Mousehold to represent her character's basis in family. This makes her final team Pansage, Herdier, Applin, Machamp, Tauros, and Mousehold. The final of the main 6 is Pinkie Pie, and her element of laughter will be represented by the Pokemon Mr. Mime. Fun fact, despite its name, Mr. Mime has a 50% chance of being female, so maybe hers could be a girl. To represent Gummy, I decided on Fuecoco, both being gators and both having just no thoughts in their heads. Galarian Slowbro has a cannon on its arm, so it represents the party cannon. Because of her baking expertise, she has a Slurpuff, and her 5th member will be Roly-Coly to represent her love for her family and her roots there. It kinda looks like Maud's pet Boulder. Finally, she'll be the 2nd of the main 6 to have a legendary on her team, because I gave her Hoopa. Pinkie can canonically break the 4th wall and definitely has some sort of supernatural powers with her Pinkie sense, so this absurdly strong, dimension-shattering Pokemon fits perfectly. This makes her team Mr. Mime, Fuecoco, Galarian Slowbro, Slurpuff, Roly-Coly, and Hoopa. I didn't want to take the time to make full teams for a bunch of other characters, but here are some quick ideas for ace Pokemon for other fan-favorite characters, just for fun. Celestia and Luna would have Solgaleo and Lunala respectively, they fit the Sun and Moon motif, and the princesses definitely deserve legendaries. I gave Cadence the Pokemon Love Disc to represent her ability to spread love. Starlight gets Galarian Rapidash as she's one of the most magically skilled unicorns, and they have a pretty similar color scheme. Sunset Shimmer would have Alakazam being a humanoid Pokemon with psychic abilities, it's pretty close to her. I thought it would be funny to give Derpy a Dragonite. They're both silly little guys, and Dragonite is known to be a postman in many pieces of Pokemon media. For the final character I considered, I gave Chrysalis a Zoroark, both could use their illusions for their cunning schemes. There are of course hundreds of MLP characters, so these are just a few I thought of off the top of my head, but tell me in the comments what your favorite pony's ace Pokemon would be. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of the video. This is the first time I've really crossed over into another fandom, so let me know in the comments if you liked something like this. I could do more like it in the future. Consider liking and subscribing for more, and of course, thanks for watching Glimmer Times.